Hello Africa, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great, Mama.
Do you know that the first university ever established on planet Earth was on the soil of Africa? Greetings, I am Harry Agena with the Afroscope project. Well, you know about my series titled Afrocultural Titbits, where I give you some information on traditions and customs and other elements of the African culture, right? Good. Now, this is an offshoot that I title Afrocentric Titbits. This time around, I'm going to be giving you some information about Africa, general information about Africa that you didn't know. Okay? Now, here is the issue here. The Western world or the white man would have you believe that everything in this world were done by them, that that Africa is nothing, that Africa has nothing to offer the world. That's not true. That's not true. That's why I want to give you some of these pieces of information so that you know the kinds of contributions that Africa gave to this world. Yes, so that you'll be proud of your Africa if you are African. Yes, like I said, the first university ever established in the world was in the city called Fes, F-E-S. That's in northern Morocco, on the continent of Africa. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You didn't know that, right? Now you do. So have confidence that Africa has a lot to offer. And I'm going to be giving you a lot of information like this to give you some contributions from the ancient African people up to the present African people. Okay? That's what this series is all about. Now, like I said, you probably didn't know that. Now, let me give you a little bit more about the university itself. It is called the University of Al Qarawiyyin, spelled as Al-Qarawiyne, also spelled as Al-Qarawiyyin. It's located in the city called Fes. That's F-E-S, in northwest Morocco, in North Africa. It was founded in 859 AD. That's 859 years after the birth of Christ. It started as an Islamic mosque, and shortly after, it evolved into an Islamic law school. As it evolved, some of the notable subjects were, and still are, Islamic studies, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. Now that I have told you about the origin of universities in the world, let's talk about Afrocentrism or Afrocentricity. And the founder of Afrocentric philosophical movement, Dr. Molefi Kete Asante, an African American who traced his origin to the West African region and Ghana specifically, to realize or to find out that that's where his forefathers came from as slaves. So he adopted the name from Ghana, Molefi Kete Asante. In the 1970s, when I met him, or in the 1980s rather, when I met him, he was rated number 5 most brilliant, most important philosopher in the world. Now, I am glad to tell you that He is my mentor because I did have a meeting of about 2 hours with him the first time that I met him at Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas, where we talked about his project. And the idea of the project was and is to debunk this mentality, this idea that everything is all about Europe. It is a counter Eurocentric movement or counter Eurocentrism, which means that it's about time the world started realizing that everything is not about Europe. In fact, Europe is not the most contributor to the world growth, if you look at it in some ways. So it's about talking about that, yes, Africa has great contributions to this world. And when he discussed his Afrocentric philosophical movement, that's where I say, wow, I'm now going to really pay attention to this and make it my project. And I started as a TV program in Houston, Texas. And in fact, I traveled around the world based on that because I got a grant from Houston Art Council to project the African ways of life to the world. Okay, so anyway, now the idea is, henceforth, I'm going to be giving you some tidbits on some of the contributions of the African people, some of the things that originated in Africa, or some of the information that you never knew about Africa on this series titled Afrocentric Titbits, an offshoot of my other series titled Afrocultural Titbits, where I talk about customs, traditions, and other elements of the African culture. Okay, until my next edition of Afrocentric Titbits, this is where I say bye for now, and thanks for watching.